Hello, I'm MC Toon, and it's Tuesday night, and tonight we have a discussion about Flat Earth with Danny Seppings, who's right here on screen. How are you, Danny?
Pretty good, mate. How are you today?
I'm great. Um, so you were on last week, and we had some things that we covered that you sent me. So I think we can just get right into that. Do you want to tell just a little background while I prep it a little?
Yeah. First of all, I just want to thank you, Michael, for letting me come back on again. I really appreciate it. And I tell you what, that last time we were discussing all the different things regarding flat Earth, I really got a lot out of it. And one of the things that when a person does convert over from being from the globe model into the flat Earth model, it's quite therapeutic because being under so much stress for so long under the whatever, in my case it was a religious cult that I was participating in, and the flat earth um, information seemed to be a breath of fresh air for me. But one of the things that I try to do as much as I possibly can is be teachable and understanding whenever there are points that, I may have, oh gosh, I totally overlooked that. And like that thrust, I was convinced that it took off, not on zero, but she did point out, and I've found a video to prove that point. So I'm really grateful, mate. You're doing an amazing job there, and it's a great opportunity to discuss different views. And for the Christians who have doubts, who are still hanging on to the globe, and even considering the flat Earth, I tell you, just keep an open mind, because it took me a while. It took me 3 years to actually shake the shackles of what it meant to start looking at the world differently than what we were programmed as kids. Anyway, so today I wanted to start off with I sent some photos over to you, Mike, about the distance between Melbourne, the city of Melbourne, and Portsea, which is like the entrance into the state. It's our Port Phillip Bay. It's our main shipping entrance. Portsea is the last part of it. So yeah, this is the actual pier, Portsea Pier, and so as I walk all the way down, turn right, and go all the way up to the very end, there's a bench chair there where you can sit down. Now, obviously, taking my measurements, I wasn't standing up, but I was actually sitting down on the bench chair. That could be classified to some people as, oh, well, that's above the sea, Well, yeah, it would be definitely about 1,200 mil, which is a meter, about 4 foot, roughly, from the sea level. Will it make any difference? I don't know. That's
Well, yeah.
arguments of who sees it. I personally don't think it makes any that difference. We're looking at roughly about 100 kilometres away, so that's at the tip there of the walking all the way around, and then right at the end there's a actual bench seat you can sit on there, and that's where you can take your photos and videos, whatever you want to do. So
So I
anyway,
have I have a Google Map overview of that particular pier right there. Is this is the one at
yeah,
Portsea?
that's the one.
Okay, and I'll zoom out so people can see that's then all the way across. What's the name of this body of water? Port Phillip?
Yeah, this is a Port Phillip Bay.
Right. And the distance across there from where you're looking to Melbourne?
Okay, nautical miles, because that's important, is different than if you were to go around the peninsula itself on the Point Nepean Road to Melbourne.
What's
Um,
what's the distance just from the observation distance?
Good question.
You said you
Let me
said
check.
110 kilometers.
Is it okay?
That's what you
Rough.
said. That was your number.
Oh, let me check. I just took it from Google. Let me see.
You took the distance.
What it is, they give you how long it will take to get. It's like 2.5 hours along the road, and it says it's X amount of miles and kilometers. I
Sure,
can't
sure,
find it now.
but the light doesn't take the road. The light just goes straight over the water.
Yeah, so we're not going by the road distance. We're going by the nautical miles, which would be going directly across the water there.
Well, you can measure directly across the water in miles, nautical miles, kilometers, kilo sheep lengths, inches, millimeters, whatever units you want. It doesn't have to be nautical miles to be over water.
Yeah, that's correct. Let's see if I can find it. Oh, mate, I can't believe I can't find it. Okay, let's see.
Is it? I mean, I have it on screen here.
Oh, do you? Okay, there you go. Perfect. So
The
what's
over
it saying?
the
It's about 37 miles. Okay.
59 kilometers, not 110, like you said.
No, 110. Well, how much is it in kilometers? Sorry.
59.
Okay, 59. Yeah. Well, again, I may have misread it because I sent you 3 different measurements, which I'm trying to find now.
Well,
and it may have been that I was
for
following
reference,
the actual road itself.
This is 110 kilometers.
Okay.
You see that?
Yeah.
That's 110 kilometers. So you said it was 110 kilometers. So I checked.
Okay, so this is what I got.
I checked your work.
This is what I got from and I think I've sent this to. I got this.
You got driving
straight
directions.
from the internet.
You got
and it says here the distance between Melbourne and Portsea is 101 kilometers or 62 miles.
Yeah.
Or 54 nautical miles. There it is there. So that's saying it was 54 nautical miles. So, and that origin from Melbourne, Hawthorne, Victoria's destination, Portsea. So that it says here 101 kilometers, 62 miles, or 54 nautical miles.
All right.
So that was what I sent you. So what you're saying by your measurements there, it's actually less than what Google's saying.
This is a free utility, Google Earth, Google Maps. You can just draw a line between them and measure it.
Okay.
That's all I did. So all right. So there is so here is then this is the next one you sent me. So
yeah.
This picture you took
that's right on the edge
on the same dock. The same dock?
Right at the very end.
Where we can see what's that in the background there.
Okay, so you got the Rialto on the left. That's Eureka in the center. And I wouldn't know what the other buildings are, but I just know the tallest one there, which is the tallest in the Southern Hemisphere.
So it's downtown Melbourne is what it is.
That's right, yeah.
And you took that from this very dock.
Not where I'm standing there, but over in that.
Somewhere back there on this dock.
So you have to walk all the way up and then walk all the way to the other end.
So this dock here in Portsea.
Yeah.
And you took
and as you can see,
this
it's
picture,
like in the letter L, right at the very end.
Okay, so you went out to the end of it.
Now, what happened? I also took photos from Safety Beach.
I have the video. Hold on. Let's play this video here, so people can hear what you say.
I'm standing here on the Portsea Pier, the jetty, the Portsea. It's over 30 miles away, and I can see the bottoms of the buildings. Impossible if there was curvature, if this was a globe or a ball, but on a flat earth you can see it perfectly.
So that's at Portsea.
That's right. Now 30, I said 30 because at the time I was just guessing.
Yeah, why would you guess? Why wouldn't you just measure? But that's fine. So this is definitely from the pier in Portsea.
That's right. Yeah.
Absolutely. definitely you took this at the pier in Portsea.
That's right.
Okay. And then you sent this picture here too.
Yeah, now that's with the big baby.
The big.
This one.
So you took this picture. You took with which camera?
With a big zoom lens.
Oh wow! And what was the camera body that's on there? Do you what is that lens? That's a pretty big lens.
This is 400.
Okay.
You can see that.
And do you have the camera body too, or can you? Is it a Canon, a Nikon, a Sony? What's the body? Can you hear me?
Okay, so I took this off here. It comes off this one anyway. This is a EO 570.
Okay, it's a Canon. So this picture was taken with a Canon body and a
One
400
is taken
millimeter.
from my phone, and one is taken from the Canon. One set of photos. There's two sets.
That's from your phone, you say, and that's from a Canon with a 400 millimeter lens. Is that a fixed?
Yeah,
400?
I have to see. I don't remember because what happened, I just downloaded them on my computer. It was a little chip that I took out of the camera, so I can't either way tell you or guarantee you.
Was this a while ago?
This particular set of photos was only done very recently. It was only like in the last week, because the last set I had, unfortunately, I couldn't find for you, so I had to go and redo them.
So this was a recent picture that you took on your
very,
Canon.
very recent.
You took it on your Canon body with a 400 millimeter zoom lens,
phone, which is this baby.
What about that?
And
no,
some on my Pixar and some on the.
Yeah, so this one you took with your Pixel phone.
Okay, so this one, yes, this one was done with the phone.
Okay, and this one was the Canon. Hold on.
I don't know which ones there were, but because I did a whole bunch of them, and you said you only got 3 of my photos, I actually sent you 8.
Yeah, I got the others. I got the others, but like 5 were about the same as this.
Oh, okay.
So I'm only showing the one.
Let me just check here, because on here, I did send you extras.
That's fine. You don't need to bring it up. I'm just curious, this particular one, this particular photograph you took with your Canon EOS and a 400 millimeter zoom lens.
Yeah, again, I can't tell you because I'm not doing this by memory. It was a rush job. It was late. I came home from work. I quickly took the snaps and then left.
Okay.
And I loaded them all up on the computer, so I don't know what was what.
Okay. Well, there's a bit of a discrepancy I found.
Okay.
But give me a second here. Because I looked at that photograph and you emailed it to me, and it included the EXIF information in the one you emailed to me.
Okay.
Do you know what EXIF information is?
That would be the information telling you the source of where the photo came from.
Mm-hmm. Including
so the ones I sent you,
including
all came from one source, did they? Because I've got a whole album full of different photos.
Yep. They all came from the same device. They all came from a Pixel 3. So this one was not taken with a Canon EOS with a 400 millimeter lens. It was taken with the same phone as this one. They have the identical EXIF information for the phone.
Oh,
the
excellent.
other thing is,
that's good.
This photo also
So that even
includes,
shows you how good the Pixel phone is.
well, yeah, it also shows the magnetic angle, the angle that the phone was pointing.
Okay.
Do you know what that means?
Longitude, I suppose.
Well, for example, right here on the
Mhm.
pier, this photo has a magnetic direction of 7. That would be 7 degrees azimuth.
Right.
Now, in this area, right around Melbourne, the magnetic declination is just under 12 east. Do you know what that means?
Okay.
Do you know what that means?
We're talking like degrees, 12 degrees
Yes,
from
12
east.
degrees to the east. So you do a little bit of math and you find out that it's leaning, that magnetic declination is leaning 12 to the east. So you have to subtract 12 off. So you're looking, this is looking just about due north.
Okay.
Right? And the phones aren't their margin of error on their magnetic declination's a little off.
Okay.
This shows that it was a Pixel 3. Now this is interesting. This shows that the image direction is 241. You know what that means? That's a 241 degree azimuth, and then you need to subtract 12.
Okay.
You know what that means? That means you were not looking north. You were looking northwest.
Yeah, that's
Northwest.
Because one photo I'm standing at the front of the actual pier, and the other one I walked all the way out.
Yeah. Well, let me show you. Let me show you when I go measure direction here, measure distance. What that means. So a angle of that of 241 would be about this direction. So here's the pier. You said you're on the end of the pier, right there, right?
Yeah.
Right. And that you and so the EXIF information tells us that the phone was angling this way. But the problem is that Melbourne is over in this direction.
Yeah.
You weren't facing this direction. You were facing this direction. There's another problem though.
Yep.
You did not take that picture from Portsea Pier.
Show me.
Here is an overlay of your photograph. You see your photograph there? The inset that's got the people in it. And then the rest of that's from Brighton Beach area.
Is that what you're saying? Okay.
That is what I'm saying. You took that photograph from Brighton Beach. Now, Brighton Beach is significantly closer, much closer. Here's an example of a Google Images photograph from Brighton Beach. Do you see that?
Okay.
Do you see that?
Yeah, it's the same.
That's the same. That's the same picture.
Yeah.
The same as from here. Oh no, look at that. And here's another one from Google Images. Look at that. I prepped this because I found out where you actually took that. And funny enough, I asked a friend to have a look. I have with me Aussie Globehead, who lives nearby and is currently at that exact location.
Oh, that's terrific.
That's terrific. Yes, that is terrific because it's showing what.
So can you see the bottoms of the buildings?
No. Here's the problem,
You can,
Danny.
can't you?
Here's the problem, Danny. I trapped you. You said
I know
you took
think
that.
You have, but I'll get back to that in a moment.
You took that from Portsea Pier.
But anyway, you're going to
No. I'm exposing you, Danny. You said this was from Portsea Pier multiple times.
And I will prove
multiple times you said that in this very stream.
Listen to me.
No. This is your chance to be embarrassed because you said this was Portsea Pier. So here we have. No.
Do you remember I said to you?
All right, you're not talking right now. Now we have with us. Nobody can hear you. We have right here Aussie Globehead, who is standing in the very location that you actually took that photograph. Now, if you are muted, Danny, and Aussie Globehead, you can talk if you want. So we got, I'm not hearing you right now, but you can see in the background there the same angle. All right, we've got Aussie Globehead coming in a little bit.
It's just a little bit windy here, so I'm sorry about that.
That's all right. Our concern is what we're looking at. So
Well, I'll stand back here and I'll try and point. The thing for me that gave it away was that cypress tree over there.
Yeah.
So I lined that cypress tree up with the International Trade Building, which you can, because of where I am, you can just see the two buildings to the right of the cypress tree, which are the International Trade Buildings. Now, also the other thing that gave it away was all of the angles of the building would only work from this location or about 3 others.
Yep. And both Aussie Globehead and myself, we spent a little bit of time looking at Google Images Street View and finding, oh, look, this doesn't match the view from Portsea, but it definitely matches the view from Brighton Beach area. Danny, nobody can hear you. I'll give you a chance to talk a little bit. I'm presenting I'm exposing your lies right here is what we're doing. So you can talk, doesn't matter. Nobody's hearing you. So can you zoom in there, Aussie?
I'll try.
Or is this, it's probably you're on a phone, right? I love Danny's just going and going. He's trying to defend his deception here.
It's actually fixed, so I can't zoom in because
Okay.
I'm in the Zoom call.
Oh yeah, okay. You can't zoom because you're in Zoom. Okay.
That's correct.
Anyway, so thank you for that. I love that we have a live view of exactly the vicinity that Danny tried to pawn off as Portsea Pier.
So there's that other image that I sent you, MC Toon, that of Danny's pictures that I actually overlaid on top of each other.
Yes, I showed that already.
Yeah, and it shows the whole entirety of the dog beach that's in front of it. Oh, sorry, just below the level of the buildings, as it would be.
Yeah.
And just for your reference, this bench that he's talking about.
Can you hear me?
It's actually behind me.
When you're looking out there right now, I don't know if you can see it or not, but can you see the curvature? It's pretty good, isn't it? It's quite prominent just from where you're standing.
All right, you're muted again.
So
I had to change it. It took him that long to figure out he could unmute himself. I changed it, Danny. You cannot unmute yourself anymore. So we're still talking here. So just wait.
Well,
go ahead, Aussie.
I was going to say, not everything he said, Toon, was a lie, because he did say that there was a bench where he took the photo from.
Yes.
And I'll just pick up my tripod and I'll turn around and look. Hang on.
Oh,
look at that. There's the bench.
There's a bench.
There's the bench. So he wasn't lying about everything, but he may have kind of misrepresented the truth a lot.
A lot. Very much so. I'll put up the picture again of the overlay that you did there. That's on the screen right now. And so Dog Beach, that's what it's called there, is in front of you there?
Yeah, so there's a dog walking beach just in front.
You cut off.
Yeah, sorry, I muted myself. Sorry.
Yep.
Yeah, so there's a dog walking beach just there in front of us. And look, it did take a little bit of time, like you said, to locate this general location of where he was talking about. But the reality of it is the buildings were all the wrong angle and the wrong spacing because of perspective or something.
Something like that. All right. Well, Aussie Globehead, thank you so much for your work. We've been messaging back and forth for a couple days here to look at Danny's claims, because he had sent a different image earlier that was heavily cropped and you could see the boats in the marina. And he also said it was from Portsea Pier, and it clearly was also not from Portsea Pier. So, all right. Well, thank you, Aussie Globehead. I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna let Danny talk, and
not a problem. I can go if you want.
Yeah.
Or yeah. And I'll thank you very much for bringing me on, and I'll talk to you soon, I'm sure.
All right. Sounds good. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Bye. All right,
Okay,
Danny.
so you didn't want me to talk to Ozzy. That's okay.
No, I
So
don't.
You muted
I
me
want
while Ozzy was talking. But
absolutely,
just in all
because
fairness,
you got caught in a lie. You got caught in a lie.
If you had been honest and sent him to Portsea, then you could have said, I gotcha. But you didn't. You did a slimy little trick by going
I got
and
you.
sending him to a
I
dog
got
beach.
you.
You know, I tell you
I
now,
totally
and I'll
nailed
be
you.
honest, totally
Now,
honest with you, mate. If you're going to do this I gotcha thing, make sure you put all your dominoes there to try to bring someone down.
And I did.
You didn't do that.
I totally destroyed you. This was awesome.
Let me
this was so funny.
I told you I had two cameras. I had your two cameras, and I tried to send you, and obviously you only got one set of photos from one. And that's what happened there.
Yeah, you have zero pictures.
On the other
zero pictures of Melbourne from Portsea Pier.
You're going to let me
zero.
Speak.
You have zero pictures. No, I'm not interested in letting you speak, because what I'm doing is I'm exposing a multi-decade scammer. I'm exposing a multi-decade scammer, which is what you are.
If you want to cherry pick, that's very good. So
I'm not cherry picking anything,
if
Danny.
If you'd asked Ozzy to go to Portsea, you will notice that no matter what beach, no matter what pier you go, you get the same buildings.
You don't see
them at Safety Beach.
You don't get
Rosebud. I got them at Dramana.
Here's the beautiful thing.
It doesn't matter where you go. It's like in Sydney with the Opera House. You can see the Opera House all around the bloody harbour, mate. You can't put someone in one place and say, ha ha, I got you.
Keep digging.
Anyway.
Keep digging.
Forget all that.
Keep digging.
Did Ozzy discover the curvature even at that distance?
I exposed your lies, what I did.
Of course it's not.
You have been absolutely demolished here, Danny. You've been demolished.
Is just for me.
Keep digging.
It was never for you.
Keep digging,
I understand you sticking with the
liar.
Globalist.
Keep digging, liar.
But
keep digging, liar.
The reason I did that was
to
for
lie?
my own
to lie.
Why did you lie? That there is no curve.
Why did you lie?
How far I go,
why did you lie?
I will never see a curve.
But why did you lie? Why did you say that you took that picture from Portsea Pier when you took it from Brighton Beach? Why? Why did you lie about that?
Listen to me.
Tell me why. Why did you lie, Danny? Why did you lie?
It says, you think
Danny,
I'm going to sit on wet paint? Why didn't Ozzy sit on wet paint?
Why did you lie? Why did you lie, Danny?
I mean, that's so stupid.
Why did you lie? You said you took this picture. This picture is from Portsea Pier.
Is that you didn't?
This picture is from Danny. This picture is from Brighton Beach, and you said it was from Portsea Pier. Danny,
would have been in a different situation.
You said this was Brighton Beach, or you said this was Portsea Pier and it's Brighton Beach.
I know you're saying it's Brighton Beach.
It is
not
Brighton
me.
Beach. I
you
just showed it.
That, and you send your little Aussies, the localists. Why didn't you send a flat earther?
The exif information shows the angle, Danny.
You send
right
your
here.
Little buddies
Look at that.
Support your little argument.
Danny. The angle of the camera. You can't disagree with that. I showed you the angle of the camera.
I'm telling you
this
now,
is the angle of the camera. Right there. This is the angle of the camera.
Yes, but that's true. But why? Because
I was Melbourne's up here.
On the pier.
Danny.
That wasn't a photo of Melbourne. Again.
Oh, this isn't a photo of Melbourne?
Sorry?
This is not a photo of Melbourne?
No, you're
Since
putting words
when?
in my mouth.
Since
I
what?
said to
What is
you-
this a photo of?
The photo at Portsea.
This is a photo of
Go
Melbourne.
back to the photo of Portsea. Please, could you go back to the photo of Portsea for one moment?
This is Portsea.
Okay. If you notice where I'm standing,
There's
okay,
no Melbourne
I
in the
am
background.
I am not over where I said I took the photo of Melbourne. I'm standing at the mouth of the pier. It's a
Yeah.
complete different location that shoots right across to Geelong.
A complete
which
different location.
proves-
No, it's not.
Yeah,
You don't. But
because
you don't
the
have any
pier,
pictures from
If
from
you
here.
look at the pier,
Right here. Right here.
Sorry.
Here's a picture of the pier right here, where you said you were, right at the end, and the
No,
angle
that
of the
was when I
photograph.
took the photo of Melbourne. But
And
when
the
you saw
angle
a
of
photo
the photograph
me,
goes off this way.
when I took the photo of me, it was at the mouth. Please don't warp that.
Which
when
photo?
I took the
This
photo
one?
Of me, I was
This photo of
standing
you?
There. Look where I am.
Yeah.
Look exactly where I am.
And
Right
I have
behind me,
the magnetic angle
Look
7.
at me. Where my head is
Yes.
right there.
Magnetic
behind
angle
my
of
head
7,
is
Danny.
Geelong. Is directly to Geelong.
Yes.
Okay.
Now, Danny.
Melbourne is going the
Hey,
way
liar.
that the pier
Hey,
goes
pathological
west.
liar, Danny.
Oh, here we go.
This is the angle. This is the angle that your camera took. This is the angle that your camera
And
took.
that's Geelong.
If
You
it-
can see.
if it
That's
was
the
in-
direction to Geelong.
But that's
right.
not Geelong in the picture, Danny.
Yes,
This
Geelong is in the background. No,
This
that's
is-
Melbourne.
Yes,
That's Melbourne.
exactly.
That's
And
the
look
different-
at
that photo was
look at-
taken in a different angle.
look at the
Do
photo.
you
Yes.
understand what I'm trying to
The
say? Right?
angle is 247, 241. 241 is the angle. This is the angle that it would have to be. That picture would be this picture right here. See that? That is Melbourne, definitely, and the angle is 241, which
So
is
I'm
this
confused.
angle. But I
I'm
know you're
confused.
confused. But now if I do
you're
this,
saying that
look at
photo
this.
was from Brighton,
right there.
then that still wouldn't line up anyway. That's still
That
wrong.
photo. Hey, liar! I exposed your
That-
lies.
on your
Here's-
measurements
here's-
that you're trying to work out now.
Hey,
it's still
scammer!
wrong.
Hey,
doesn't
professional
make sense.
scammer, Danny! Look at
Oh
this.
my gosh!
This is
You really-
this is
look,
your
listen to me.
picture. This is
Listen to
your
me.
picture overlaid with another picture from Brighton Beach, and you promised me it was
It
from
should-
Portsea. You
if that picture,
lied,
listen to me.
Danny.
if that
you
picture looked different,
lied.
then it
You
would be definitely not
lied,
Melbourne, would it?
Danny. You
No,
lied, and you got
can't-
caught
can't
in a
cut
lie.
and paste pictures and say, "Da-da!" See, it's exactly the same as that. You reduce it, you put it on, and you manipulate
Yes.
it.
All right, so
Anyone can
Danny-
do that.
Danny, now
Anyone
we're
can do that.
up to, because I've shown that you are a pathological liar when it comes to this particular thing. And so now it's time to talk about Daniel John Seppings, the international man of scammery. You are a professional scammer, Danny. We know that now, and it's been out for a while. You made a bomb threat when you were in Missouri, and then they kicked you out of the United States. You found yourself in Honduras, where, oh, Danny, were you accused of having sex with a 12-year-old, Danny? Did you do that because you thought that was the age of consent? And that's why you did it? Now, this is on my website, mctoon.net/Danial/Seppings, which I'll have in the description of this video, and the people in the chat have had it since the beginning. They know all about you. Look at that, child rape charges filed. Now, next, Danny, this in Honduras, this was dirty. You pretended to get people jobs in the United States or
Do you see
somewhere
what
around
that
there.
is? Do you see what that is, sir?
Yes, you
You
collected
know what that is? No, I'm just going to ask you a question. Do you see what that is?
200 lempira.
You know what that says?
All right.
Do you know what that says,
don't-
sir? That
don't-
says that's a police record from Honduras.
Yeah,
that
yeah.
says I've never been charged.
Yeah,
I've
yeah.
never been accused.
You
and
were
what it
charged.
is
You were
that it's
accused.
hype.
You
It
were
is
charged
hype.
and accused.
That
But
is
now
hype. Yeah.
here's the interesting thing. You
No,
were
I was never
you
charged
were
because I will show you this one. I
No,
can tell you now.
nothing that
What
you
you're doing,
say
it's
has
very
any
good. You're doing a
value.
good manipulation job.
Nothing
But
what you
read
say
this,
has value
and
because
this
you are
is
a
another
pathological
police
liar.
record from the court
So-
tribunal, and it says I've never,
Danny,
ever
okay, Danny.
been
So here's a question
charged
for you.
of anything like you're trying to accuse.
Danny,
Now,
why?
all this hype that
Danny,
you're
all right,
saying,
I'm gonna
all this
Danny, why Why, when you were in Honduras, did you tell people that they could get a job for more than the going rate, and all they had to do was pay you 200 lempira to apply? Why is that? Why is it that when the police arrested you, that they discovered that you had 22,000 job applications? What about the 22? Yeah. What
And
about the
it went
22,000 job
crazy. It was
applications?
at the same
Did
time
they
that
each
President
pay,
Maduro,
Danny,
you know, like
did
I
they
say,
each pay
you can make whatever you
200
want.
lemira
But as I
to
said to you,
apply?
do you
That's
know what's
4
interesting?
million.
Can I just say
4
something to
mil.
you that
No,
I
no,
think
no,
is
no,
very
no.
interesting?
This is your chance to get
you know how much
exposed,
you
Danny.
support this NASA
This
team,
is
right?
this
You
is
say
you
that
getting
they're not
exposed. This is you getting exposed, Danny. You are a full-time professional scammer. So here's what it is. There were 22,000 job applications, and you were charging 200 lempira for each job application. Now I can do math unlike you. 4,400,000 lempira. I looked up the exchange rate as of August 2001. That's 277,000 US dollars. They also found that you had a plane ticket to Canada for just a couple days later. Danny, were you going to flee Honduras with $277,000 that you had scammed from people? It sure looks like it was. So, now I don't know. I gotta say, I don't know what came of the accusations of the naughty with the child stuff. I don't know what happened to it. So if anybody does have any information, right there on my website, send me an email, mctuna@mctuna.net. Maybe we can see the actual criminal records. Because Danny, none of what you say bears any value, because Danny, you are a pathological liar. I've shown that already. You said you were on Portsea Pier. You were in fact on Brighton Beach. I have the full newspaper article there on the archive.org. I looked it up, Danny. I did my homework, unlike you. Now, when you left Honduras, you went to Panama, where you started a new company called Super Replicas. And in Super Replicas, people would pay down payments for cars, replica cars of high-end sports cars that they never got. They'd pay the down payment, but they never got the car, over and over again. Now, I can't show all of it. There's so many. All those links there. Look at all those links. Go ahead, people. Read them. It would drive you crazy. Now, I spoke with Ryan. See, Ryan Grassley right here. I spoke with him yesterday. Yesterday, was it Friday, Saturday? I don't know, a couple days ago. Talked to him. We had a little call. Talked to him. He brought a camera with to show some of the inside footage of your Super Replicas your Super Replicas factory. A complete joke, but I do recommend watching it on his channel Alt Throttle. The factory is a joke. You were selling 2 cars, you couldn't even get them to start. Now in Panama, Danny, you lived in a kind of a castle. Maybe you got that money that you snagged from those Honduras people. And there were other things that I turned up that you had done, just a short list. You also were doing replica luxury yachts, like the replica cars. You did some sort of a jet ski hoverboard attachment thing. That probably went nowhere. An ecotourism location where people pay a fee to see artifacts from when Christopher Columbus discovered Panama. I didn't know he did that. Fort David or Graceland Castle style, right? A company, a diploma mill that issues college degrees from a fake institution, Graceland College. And I love this one, a museum of religious antiquities, including the Ark of the Covenant, which you certainly did not have. And then I think Reformed LDS church called the Church of Jesus Christ Remnant of Jacob. Now, I go on to your particular stuff in last week and this week, where You lied for 3 hours last week. You made up stuff. You said that you knew people. You didn't know people. You made up things about how satellite dishes work. You don't know how satellite dishes work. You made up stuff about how airlines do their flights. That's not how airlines do their flights. Everything you said last week was fabricated on the spot. I've debated 200 about flat earthers, and yours was unique amongst them because all the stuff that you made up was different than what they did. You made it up on the fly. You're good at that. You're good at making up stuff on the fly. So I even included the video where you say you're filming from Portsea Pier, and you're not filming from Portsea Pier. You're filming from Brighton. Then he wrote his own book, The Book of Daniel. I got a copy of it for people to read. Other people have compiled information. I have a list of them as well. So Danny, there's a little summary of your decades of scammery. So now, Danny, what do you have to say for yourself?
Well, first of all, as I said for you, I have the police records in Honduras. You can take a photo of these as I'm showing them right there. I can send you a copy of them. And all these records show I was never charged. If I had been charged for statutory rape, that is, we're talking 14, well, maybe 15 years per person. Just that alone. And all this stuff about Panama and all this, that guy that you were referring to was a Mormon missionary, and he worked for the Mormon church. Now, what is the interest that these people have that are accusing me? They all have one interest.
Truth.
They're all Mormons.
Exposing
and
a fraud.
Because I'm a whistleblower.
So how many cars did you deliver, Danny?
Sorry?
How many cars did you deliver?
You know, when you talk to me about how many cars, you have to ask yourself, does that have any bearing, whatever the business I had, does it have any
You're
bearing
a scammer, Danny.
on
That's
today about the globe
Zero.
and about flat earth?
Zero.
Of course it
You're
doesn't.
You're a pathological liar. Everything you do is a lie.
You might think
your entire life is a lie. Danny, how many times have you been married, Danny?
The truth, but I'm
Danny,
telling you, none of them are telling you the truth.
How many times have you been married? When Marjorie discovered that you were previously married and she had the marriage annulled, did also Laura have the marriage annulled too, or is that one still legal? Your marriage to Laura, is that still legal?
Being accused of being a polygamist is not new. Joseph Smith was accused of having 14
You left Australia
and being
married.
A polygamist.
You married two women in America.
Church is a big problem.
Then you married Esmeralda in Mexico. That's 4. Now somebody counted 11 children. I don't know if that's correct or not, but how many children do you know of?
You know, could you tell me your marital state? Are you gay?
No bearing. This is an expose on your decades
are you married
of
to a
scamming.
Man? Does it have anything to do with what we're meant to be talking about? The subject.
The subject is not about flat Earth.
Because you wanted to go.
The subject tonight is not flat Earth. It is exposing a serial pathological liar named Daniel John Seppings.
That doesn't defy
you have
the purpose
decades of scamming
of what
people.
We're really
so
talking about, whether it's
have you returned the thousands of dollars to those poor people in Honduras?
That you're putting on, all it's doing is just showing.
Did you return the money?
Sorry?
Did you return the money to the people that sent you a down payment for that company, and then you never delivered them a car?
All the money you're receiving, deceiving all your globalist people.
No, not at all. This isn't, Danny. This isn't. The topic changed.
This is a big deception.
It's not.
You're doing. You're
the deception,
the
Danny, is clearly on you.
Money from it. You're
Danny,
getting sponsors and donations.
Where was this video?
Hypocrite. You really are being a hypocrite.
Where was this video taken, Danny? Where was this video?
Sorry?
Where was this video taken?
Can I ask you a question?
No, where was this video taken, Danny? Where was this video taken? Where was this video taken?
Was done in China. You can tell it's China because that's the Great China War behind us.
Danny, that was in Brighton.
No. That was in China,
you
mate.
said it was Portsea right in the video. I have this video.
you're just
forever.
cherry picking again.
And this isn't cherry picking, Danny.
If you're spending this whole
let's
time just attacking, I'm standing here on the Portsea Pier, the jetty, the Portsea.
Portsea
It's
Pier.
over 30 miles away, and I can see the.
You said it's Portsea Pier.
If you have a look,
You said it's Portsea Pier, and look.
What your Aussie mate showed was different than what I'm showing.
Look at this. Oh dear, that's the same place. And this is Brighton
and
Beach.
You get the same photo if
Brighton
you go to
Beach.
any of the other beaches, because
And
all
you
the
have
beaches have the same view.
You have,
But
you lied about it. You
Beach,
lied about it, Danny.
You're
And
lying
you've been
because
exposed
all
as a
you're trying
liar.
to do is blow
So,
something in. You're turning a mountain into a
that-
molehill.
that concludes- that concludes the expose.
Today. I noticed you had text.
All right. So, that's all that I have for you, Danny. You can stick around and listen. I have some super chats. People I think are going to ask you some questions. And maybe just like before, you might not answer them, but I understand that you might not want to answer them. It's a little embarrassing. So we've got here, I have to copy paste this. People can hear you now, Danny, when they let's see, here we go. I have to just do this. All right, from Gary K says, hello Mr. Seppings, it's the Honduran police. We'd like to talk to you concerning a very serious outstanding matter. Please call Tegus, oh my goodness, I can't pronounce that, Tegucigalpa police. There you go.
Tegucigalpa is the capital city of Honduras.
All right.
And
P. Barnes says, haven't seen an Aussie caught red-handed so badly since Cameron Bancroft. There you go. Red-handed, absolutely. Waikikamukow says, I live near Brighton, have kids, and need to know where this guy is.
It doesn't surprise me what you're doing, because the same thing happened to Julian with WikiLeaks.
Yes.
They've made him look like a criminal.
Right.
Anyone who is a whistleblower and tries to expose the truth gets all this hype back on them. And you're doing a brilliant job. You're just supporting
got another one here, Danny.
the same persecution that Julian gets with WikiLeaks from the Americans. They're good at this.
Here's a question from D. Charles Pyle. What was the year you were coronated to 33 and last degree?
Do you like my skulls in the background there?
Can you answer that question? If you
Yes,
can't,
it
tells everybody that you were not.
These skulls, this one, and this one, they represent part of the ceremony. And I said, I promised you I would come next time.
What year?
And I would start showing you some of the Mormon Masonic ceremonies. It's called Danites, and it's a blood atonement.
What year?
And you can get online. Now,
what year were you coronated?
What they call the TLC, which is a true.
What year were you coronated? Back
in 95.
95.
Now, you're not going to find the group that I participated in, because
it's a lie.
It's Scottish Rite Masonry, and the sect that I went into was the Danite Secret Society that came from a fundamentalist Mormon group. And so I was willing to share it with you, but obviously,
and this was in what country? In what country?
On all this crazy stuff, and it's sort of unfair, because Danny, you would have learned something today yourself.
What country, Danny? What country was it in? What country was it in? In Utah. So how long had you been in a Mason?
Salt Lake City.
How long had you been a Mason?
Now,
how long?
If you want
Danny?
Information on how long a person is being initiated and all that,
nothing, no answer.
It really doesn't matter, because right now anything I say, you're just going to say, "Oh, he's a liar."
Absolutely.
Oh, look at this, he's a scammer. Oh, here's all of these things. How is it that you can do so much scrutiny on the messenger or the whistleblower, but you never do the same scrutiny
you've delivered nothing.
on NASA,
you've delivered
on Neil
nothing.
Armstrong, or on any of those institutions that have been scamming people for over 50 years.
Yeah. All right. So Many Karen says, tune, forget Batman jokes. You're my superhero. Thank you, Many Karen.
What'd you say?
That wasn't for you. The Logical Hillbilly says the Australian CC has been exposed. Absolutely. Thank you, Logical Hillbilly. We've got
You
Holy
did a
Small
good
says,
job.
says
You did-
anyone else
I
think
have to applaud you, mate. What
anyone
you did.
else think
You're
it's an
champion.
odd a person who dislikes
the
NASA so
record
much?
state that Michael Toon is a great tabloidist and he's done a great job with his tabloid. But unfortunately, you're not going to be taken seriously if you go through that direction. I was hoping you were going to be more of a gentleman here.
You got destroyed, Danny.
I'm
my
going to point
gosh.
the finger and accuse you and all the rest of it.
So over the top
Because
destroyed.
if you had been a gentleman and we had to put the cards on the table,
I wasn't the one that lied about being at
properly.
Portsea Pier when I'm
But
at
you,
Brighton.
you have a
You
form
lied
that
about
you
being
want
a
to do the exposure
Portsea.
thing, and so
right.
be it. You know.
So here we
You
go.
didn't help anyone. Have you
All right,
educated
hold on,
anyone
Danny.
today?
Oh yeah, I have. People know not to trust
exist, and that the
people.
globe.
Oh, this
globe
isn't about.
is the only
This is
way to
about
go, and that
exposing a
NASA is
serial
true.
pathological
No,
liar.
you haven't. What you have done is you spent the time on sexual intrigue and all this gossip and rumors and stuff.
This
that's
is
just pure scandal and hype.
This is your life.
By like that video you showed.
This is your life.
Mormons. Don't you
this
find
is your
it
life.
ironic?
All right.
It's Mormon.
All right, I gotta read this. Holy Small says, anyone else think it's was thinking that maybe his next scam will be flat Earth scamming. And the thing is, Danny, it's I understand why you thought that you could fool me. Because Danny, you do fool people. You are successful at fooling people, but you can only fool people that are less intelligent than you, which is somewhere, under 0.001% of human society. But see, I'm a little smarter, so I was able to find where you did that video from, and you boldly claimed that you were at Portsea Pier when you were not. And you're doubling down, tripling down. You won't admit it because pathological liars don't admit that they lie. It's a fundamental part of pathological liars. So, Dave Rogers for $5 says he doesn't deserve to be heard. It's all lies anyway. I thought he was just a BS artist, but it's so much worse. Indeed it is. Indeed it is. C. Mitch Places, thanks for making my night, MC Toon. And hey, Danny, get bent. Alyssum says, polygamy is acceptable if all parties agree. And that is a great point. Did Marjorie and Esmeralda and Laura and your Australian wife, were they all in agreement?
Do you agree with your bisexual friends when you have sex with them?
Right. Changing the topic there. He couldn't answer that because we all know they did not know. All the parties were not informed. They were all ignorant of it. In fact, when Marjorie found out, because he made that bomb threat, claimed he was Jesus, made a bomb threat at a Mormon church in Missouri. She found out after that he was in the United States illegally and that he was previously married. So she did have it annulled. But is Laura still married to you? The outstanding question, Danny. Are you still legally married to Laura and your Australian wife and Esmeralda in Mexican? So, good point, Alyssum. And yeah, I'm not. That's a different thing. I'm not casting aspersions on that. It's about whether or not all parties consent. Mouth Breather says, strange how you haven't denied any of it yet, Daniel. He's vehemently denied the 12-year-old in Honduras, but he did not deny the scamming. He did not deny scamming the job applicants in Honduras for $277,000 at the time. He did not deny that he did not ship any cars to people that paid down payments. He deflected from that immediately. He did not. Yes, he definitely did not. He has many different names to that company that he scammed with. Oh, that's a good one. Soap flakes. Danny, here's a question. Danny, if you'll stop for a second. Danny, I have a question for you here.
Yeah.
Soap flakes says you may not have been charged with rape, but did you deny the charges, Danny?
I first of all, I've never been accused of rape. I've never been charged
And
for
he's
rape,
not denying
and
it.
I've never done
He's
any
not
type
denying
of
it.
rape.
Okay.
What?
What did you do to those children, Danny?
Okay, the children you're talking about that you fondled and molested.
There he went off again. So defensive. All right, Alyssa. Did he just compare himself to Assange? Scum. Yes, he did compare himself to Assange. Green Bulls for 2 Canadian says this was a historic roasting of epic proportions. I'm glad you could all be here for it. Truth Nerd says, I don't know about Honduras, but police certificate entries in Germany are purged after some years depending on severity. I suspect more deceit. Ooh, that could be. Yeah, there is a there's a statute of limitations. This was in 2001, 2002, somewhere in that after there. So hey Danny, question on Danny, question. Did you become a Mason in Westchester County?
Westchester County, do you know where that is?
Yes, that's in New York.
Okay.
No? Okay. Scott Evans says, Dear Danny the Diddler, please amuse us pilots with your complete lack of aviation knowledge.
If anyone, again, is going to ask a question about the Masonic secret combinations.
he can't answer. All right. Mr. Spank has a $2 super chat with no message. Thank you for that, Mr. Spank. Saeed Ahmed says, I wasted a perfectly good Van Halen joke on this guy last time he was on. Great work, MC Toon, for exposing this fraud. Oh, Tones overthinks it, says for $5. Danny, you really need to stop. It's becoming pathetic now. You've been destroyed. Try to preserve what dignity you might have left and quit. Nothing. McLeod 2022 as a 89 pence super chat with no super sticker with a surprised face sticker. Thank you for that. Barbsy for 5 Australian says, have a beer, Danny. Danny, you should another Aussie says that you should have a deer from Barbsy. Maybe a Foster's?
Yeah, so
Foster's
what I'm
is
saying
Australian for beer.
is that if you're going to scam people for money to support your little...
Then call yourself Danny Seppings. Jane Doe says, if your current career doesn't work out or gets boring, you have a bright future as a private investigator. Thanks for all the work you put into this. Thank you. I have to give credit. Ryan Grassley had a good amount of information. I did dig up a bunch of things and pulled them off of archive.org because a lot of the websites were down. I have PDFs of every single one of them. I printed out to PDF every one of them. So even if archive.org goes away, I still have them. Danny, you're never living this down. If you pop your head up again anywhere on the internet, you know who you'll find? Me. I'll be waiting right there for you with this website that I'll update as you do future scams. This is done. You belong in prison, Danny. That's where you belong. Prison. So I'm asking right now, I'd like to ask anybody that is in Australia that was scammed by super replicas, please contact me, because different countries, it's a challenge. But if an Australian person scammed an Australian person, there's at least a chance that the Australian authorities could get him in prison where he belongs. Mouth Breather says, I don't recall people being insultingly defensive when they are innocent. Your attitude is proving you did the most despicable thing possible to at least 2 children. And the George says, tell him that we, not so much me, but I have, know what we are getting for our money when we give to MC Toon. Those you scammed got nothing. Those you scammed got nothing. All right. I've got a question, Danny.
Reporting you
Yeah,
to
report away.
YouTube
Absolutely.
to get your channel down, because
Yeah, you go right ahead.
this is
Danny-
unacceptable. It's defamation,
Brady-
and it's illegal. what
Brady
you're doing.
Photography.
I am totally innocent. I've showed to you.
Sure.
I've proved to you that.
Danny,
and this
Brady
is-
Photography is asking a
this
question.
is to,
Danny,
these are all
Danny,
police reports
Danny,
from Honduras.
what are the 3 principles of flight?
Sorry?
What are the 3 principles of flight?
What are the 3 principles of flight?
The 3 principles of flight. Yeah, because you know so much about flight. You know how airplanes work so much.
You know, after what you've done,
You
I
don't know.
really am not
Yeah,
in the
deflection.
mood to
Got it.
discuss anything.
Got it.
I'm terribly
Got it.
sorry, but I will be seeing a lawyer, and I will be taking
Perfect.
legal action against you.
Sounds
what
good.
you've done is
Will you
totally
be using
illegal.
Will you be using
I'm
money that you
telling
scammed
now
from people to pay that
when
lawyer?
you invite someone on false pretenses that you just want to use
So-
your
All right. Well, that concludes this expose of an international man of scammery. Brady Photography says I can get him added to the no-fly list. I think the no-fly list, the version of the no-fly list where there's bars in front of you, is the one that I think is most appropriate. So that's all I have for today. Danny is when he sent me the picture of that was definitely not Portsea. And it was definitely definitely Brighton area. Like, oh, this guy is dirty. Now, I already found the things on the other websites. So if you haven't yet, please mctoon.net/Danny-Seppings, or if you just search for Danny or Daniel or Seppings on my website, you'll find it. And it'll be in the description here. I changed the video, the thumbnail, to just as I started this. So anyway, thank you very much. We got one more from Melissa. Says the principles of flight are uppity, forwardy, downity, backity. Come on, everyone knows that. So, all right. Well, there you go. Thank you very much, everybody. It was I was biting my tongue. I just wanted to tell everybody about this. So, be looking out for Danny. If you see him anywhere on the internet, let me know, because that guy is dirty as can be. And that is all I have for today. And I'm just going to do a quick ending. Thank you very much. We'll see you. Oh, can you mirror it? Absolutely, you can mirror it. You absolutely can mirror it. So, I won't call any copyright on this one being mirrored. So we'll see y'all later. Thanks, everybody.